All right. So my name is Cheryl, and I teach the computer classes at the main library. And right now I'm teaching most of the Zoom classes. There are a couple that are taught by Dave out at our West Branch. And today's class is downloading ebooks and audiobooks from the library website. And a lot of people don't know that this service exists, but we have two separate services that have ebooks and audiobooks that you can download and listen, and you can read them on your computer or listen to them on your computer, or you can most of the items you can download onto a device like your phone or your iPad or something, and take it with you. So if you're like in the doctor's waiting room and they don't have Wi-Fi, you can download the book and have it on your phone or device and read it. Most of the items are available that way to be viewed offline. Not all of them are. Some of the newer ones, the popular ones, depending on what the publisher tells us, some of them have to be read actually on the device that you access them on with Wi-Fi or with internet access. But most of them you can download and access later after you're off of Wi-Fi. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and show you how to get to these things. And you do need a library card number. Okay, but if you don't have a library card, don't worry. You can get, as long as you're in the Kansas City area or in our service area somewhere, Johnson County, KC-Mo, if you're in the Johnson County, Kansas City, Missouri, or Mid-Continent area, you can get a card here. And if you are part of the Northeast Kansas Library System area, you can get a card here. All right, so on our website, which is kckpl.org, that's our website address. We have these sections at the top here, and e-community is the one you go to. Now we have two different services that have ebooks and audiobooks available. One is Access 360, and if you scroll down a little farther, the other one is called Hoopla. Now Hoopla does have other things like movies, music, and graphic novels. But Access 360 is just ebooks and audiobooks. And they work very similarly. There's a few differences between them. If you want to learn more about them, to go through a tutorial, if you don't have time to finish this, or if I didn't answer all your questions, there's a button that says Learn More under each one of these, which will take you to a place where you can say a Hoopla tutorial. And it will show you what you need to access and what devices you can use that on. Now, if you want to download these items and read them offline, you will need to download the app onto your mobile device. Each one of these has an app that you can access with your library card also. Now, if you do not have a physical library card and you just want to use the online services, you can click up here where it says Get a Card and fill out this form, and you will get an online card number, or what we call an e-card number, which you can access any of our things on our e-community site here. All of our online stuff you can access with that. You just can't take out physical items. To take out physical items, you will need a physical card. Okay, so going to Access 360, if you're coming through our website, it usually won't ask you right away for, it might ask you right away for a library card number and your PIN, but a lot of times it won't. It'll let you browse a lot of times without logging in. When you do decide to log in, you can click here, and then you will put in your library card number and your PIN, And I'm going to go ahead and and you can click remember me so that it will automatically log you in. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Pretend you don't see my library card number. And my PIN. Okay. All right. So now it's got my name and information. And I want to be logged in when I'm downloading stuff or checking stuff out. These are items that I've already checked out and when they're due. So to search for things, your new releases are going to come up first. And if there's a copy available, there will be a button that says checkout. Now up here, some of them will say a place hold. There it says place hold. That means there's no copies available. It works just like a physical library book. We purchase for this one, we purchase a certain number of copies, and you can get on the waiting list by clicking place hold. And when you place a hold, it will tell you when you're on, when your time comes up, just like the library does. Okay. If you only want to see ones that you can check out now, up here where it says availability, you can change that to available now. Now, right now it's showing ebooks and audiobooks. So if you see this little symbol on each cover, if it's a little book, that's an ebook. You can read it. And these are headphones. So this is an audiobook. You listen to it. And you can change it. If you're only looking for audiobooks, you can change that to audio. So these are great for when you're like doing housework or something, or, you know, if you're a jogger, you can download them. Okay, now if I want to read about a book, let's say I like this, I want to see what this book is about. If I click on the actual cover, I can give it a rating after I'm done. I can say how much I liked it, and other people can see the ratings. This is a new one, so I guess nobody's given it ratings before. A wish list is, it will save items that you want to come back and read later. Okay. And then here's the button to check it out. It gives a little synopsis. If it's in a series, this is the series, and it gives you a little link where you can click on and see the other books in the series that are available on at this service. And then it says what format is it available in, how many copies we have, and how many people are on hold for it. There's nobody on hold for this one because I checked to only show me available now. And based on, here's some others by this author, or based on this one that you've got. And here is where everybody else has given reviews, and you can write a review. Here's all the information about it, who it's read by, is it abridged or unabridged? And what that means is sometimes in the audiobooks, they're very long. It takes a long time to actually read a book out loud. So sometimes they have something called an abridged. The library tries not to buy abridged ones, but every once in a while that might be the only copy available to purchase. So we might actually purchase an abridged version, which means pieces of it have been cut out to fit in a smaller length of time. And see here, it's almost 15 hours. Okay. Now, if I want this book, I just click checkout. And here it says, listen now. And it automatically starts sometimes, or I can click there and the audio will start playing. Now, if I was on my iPad or my phone, a mobile device, there would be a button, or if I was on the app, there would be a button that says download. And that is the button I would push to save a copy on my mobile device. so that I can take it wherever I am that doesn't have Wi-Fi. Now, it's not here because I am on my computer right now. Okay. These things will automatically return themselves after the right amount of time. And for our books, it's 3 weeks, just like we give you for the books that you check out physically. But if you run up against your limit and you're done with it and you want to be nice and let somebody else have the copy, you can click return. Just click return and it will mark it as being returned and make it available for somebody else to do it. If you want to see all the things that you can browse over here, whenever you see 3 lines, that means a menu of options. My library is everything that I have gotten checked out. This up here is what I have currently checked out. These are other ones it recommends. Okay. Also over here, you can browse by subject. If you're looking for a particular book, they have a search box right up here. You just click in it, type the item you're looking for and click search. But if you just want to browse, you can click over here and go browse by subject. And we have some nonfiction too, antiques and collectibles, all antiques and collectibles, not many collectibles apparently. But there's Body, Mind, and Spirit. That's some nice ones. That's like self-help and things like that. Featured lists are the ones that they think are noteworthy. So thrillers and mystery, you'll see ones that they have picked out. Okay, so it's not necessarily just the subject heading, it's selected ones that they think are popular or good. This is how many I have checked out, and if I click on this number, I can go straight to my checkouts. Okay, so these are the items I have checked out. Then I'll have this list up here that says checkouts, holds, wish list, which are the same ones that appear down here. And I placed a hold on one that wasn't available yet. And I can remove the hold. I have suspended this because let's say I'm going on vacation. I'm gonna go back to hold. I can remove the hold. I can suspend it if I don't want it while I'm going on vacation. Remove is to delete the request altogether. I just don't want to read this anymore. It's past time. I don't want to read it. Suspend hold is if I can't get it right now and I don't want to lose my place in line. I can suspend it and let somebody else have it, and then I'll be back in my place in line when I unsuspend it. And I can I can add this to my wish list and remove the hold, so I'll still have a notice of it up here, but I've removed my request. Recommendations, this is based on things that I currently have checked out or that I've checked out previously, and I have a history up here. It doesn't automatically remember what I've checked out. Hoopla, the other system, automatically remembers it. It automatically does. But Access 360 doesn't automatically remember it. You have to go to your settings, which I believe you get to up here under your little person symbol. Not your name, but the little symbol here. Okay. Oh, apparently this has 10 checkouts a month. I have checked out 4 this month, so I have 6 left. 4 remaining of 4 allowed this week. Oh, okay. I guess you can ask them to recommend something. I don't know how that works. I've never used that system. That's that thing. Under view settings, this is where you can change your name up here. Put your library card number. This is where you would put in your email address. I actually, when I set this up, because I knew this was going to be in class, I actually didn't give my email address. I just put a fake one in. But this is where you would put your email address in so that they can email you when it comes time for your holds. If you've forgotten your password, you have a little security question. You can choose a question and put your answer here. And if you have forgotten your password, it will ask you that question. And if you answer it properly, it will let you in so that you can then reset your password and your PIN. But if you're logging into the app on your device, it might ask you to create a password. If you're viewing it right here on the computer, you don't need a password or security questions because you've already logged in with your library card number and your PIN. There's a button here that automatically checkout holds. This means it will check it out to you automatically whenever it becomes available. So if you have a problem with missing your emails, you can click that button and it will automatically be checked out to you. Now you do have to keep checking back to make sure that you have something. And here is where you can display the checkout history. The display setting high contrast is if you have contrast issues. You can change it. Oh, security answer is required. Oh, I don't know what. I don't have a favorite animal. I'm going to change this later. So let's just say koala. Okay, so you notice the screen turned dark with light lettering, pale kind of yellowish lettering. This is dark backgrounds with pale lettering is actually easier for people who have eye strain issues or contrast issues. So just to let you know, that's available if you choose to, if you want that. So I'm going to take that off. Okay. So now I still don't have any history here. So it's now going to start remembering what I've checked out. Okay. Because it didn't before because I had that turned off. And that's pretty much how easy it is. Let's see. So how you read them. If you just click, say, listen now, I doubt you can hear it, but you just click it. It will take a second to download it. And then you will have, this is your, you will have the little, this is your play button. This will get you forward 30 seconds or backward 30 seconds. So if somebody said something to you and you missed it, you can pause it and go back 30 seconds and then, do whatever you need to do. This is to forward and backward to previous chapters. And this is a sliding scale to show you where you're at in the book. So like here would be about halfway and it jumps to the different chapters. Okay. If you're doing a book, okay, so and also now the menu up here is actually the table of contents for the book. So you can jump straight to whatever chapter you want if you'd like. Okay. What it did is it opened up a new tab up here in my browser. So that's how you get back to the other one. You just go back. Whoops, I clicked on stop share. It was very close to the tab, sorry. So it's up here at the top. There we go. Now, if you're reading an ebook, you can click Read Now, and it will open it up in just a second. This is a little symbol saying, hold on, I'm working. And it will actually be physically like book pages when it comes up. This is taking a little extra long. Yeah. All right. So it's still loading. Okay. The cover's shown up, but the rest of it, oh, there we go. If you go over to the left or to the right, over here, there's a little arrow, and it will open the next one here. And this is a blank page, and then the title page. This is actually much easier to read in the app, where you can download it, and it's easier to read and scroll. The online reader, ebook reader, is a little bit clunky. But so what I do is I just basically scroll through here. And if I go up, you'll notice that wasn't up there. So this is just the reading view. But if I move my arrow, watch my arrow, what happens when I move my arrow up? Now I have the controls up here, and I have this little slider bar down here at the bottom, and I now have the menu up here to jump to a particular page. This is a button that says offline access. This is where I can download it in the computer version. Okay, so up here you have, this is very kind of small print, so I can make the print larger with this button. I can put it just one page at a time. I can change the color settings. And just play around with these if you want. Generally one, and let's say make it full screen. Let's see here. Let's see what this does. There we go. Okay, this is a bookmark. You can actually put a bookmark, a virtual bookmark in, and you can jump to it so you know where you left off. This says play. That is for it gives me, I don't know if you could hear that, but it said forward. Yeah, it's the screen reader. It actually reads the screen for you. Some of these ebooks have that ability where it will actually, it's called text to speech, and it will read it for you if you have vision issues. So even if you don't, have somebody who has vision issues, you can still download the book and listen to it, even if there's no audiobook in a lot of instances. This is the audio options. You can have it read it faster, slower, and you can choose a female or male voice. And there are highlight options. It will highlight what it's reading. So if you click sentences and faster, now it's yeah, that's a little too fast. So let's hear it now. Obviously, this is not a very lifelike voice. It's an automated system, but it's better than it used to be. This is to highlight stuff. You can actually highlight it, make a little note for yourself, have somebody, like if you don't know this word, you can highlight that word by double clicking on it. choose to define it, and it will look it up in the dictionary. So that's kind of nice if you're wanting to improve your vocabulary. This is if you're looking to search for a particular word or section. You can click that and type in a word and search for it. And this is your help button. If you want to figure out how to use these items up here and you can't quite figure it out on your own. Okay. And this also opened it up in a, I believe it opened it up in a new tab. So I'm going to close these tabs that it opened up in here. And now I'm back to where I was before. When I'm done with them, I will just click on them, the thing, and click return, and it will check it back in. I'm not going to check it in because I actually do want to read this book. Okay. So it's not too difficult once you get the hang of it. The hard, you know, once you get do it once or twice, you'll remember it. It'll just be natural. Does anybody have any questions before I go to the other system, the Hoopla system? Okay, I don't hear anything, and I don't see any chat. I didn't see any chats that anybody, let me see. No chats. Okay, so I'm going to close this out. Come back here, and the other system we have, if you scroll down, it's called Hoopla. And it works very similarly. Now this one, you do have to create you do have to give them your email and password right up front, and click here where it says get, if you haven't done this already, you click here where it says get started today. Then you give them an email address. Yeah, this is just a fake one. And test 1 2 3 4, test 1 2 3 4, and you click agree. And then it will ask you to pick your library card. It will try and find you based on where you're at, what city you're in. It can tell where your computer's located or where your phone is. If you're, let's say, on vacation somewhere else and you're doing the library, our library, what you'll need to do is put in the zip code, and it will search for the library that way. But since I'm in Kansas City, it's actually finding the Kansas City ones. And this is also nice because it shows you that the Kansas City, Missouri and Bonner Springs Library have this Hoopla system. You know what that means? If you have a card here, you are allowed to get a card at Kansas City, Missouri, or you can register your Kansas card, your Kansas City, Kansas card in the Missouri system by going there and filling out their form. And that way you'll have two different systems that you can use, which means you have more that you don't have as much of a limit, because there is a monthly limit on how many you can check out. Well, if you register with us and register with the Missouri, if you have a Missouri library card, that's twice as many items that you can check out and read a month, isn't it? Yeah. We're not jealous. Hey, use every library thing that you can. So if I click there, and I click next, and it's going to ask me for my library card number. Okay. And I'll be able to, and it's going to check with us to make sure that's a valid library card, etc. And then you will be logged in with a login. And then from then on, then you will actually click login and use that email and password. You will not have to put your library card number in again. And if you download the app onto your mobile device so that you can, download one of these items, you will log into the app with that email address and password. So after the first time, you really don't have to use your library card. Okay. All right. So the actual physically using Hoopla is very similar to using Access 360. Up here, you can click on here. This is your search box. And these are trending things that people have been searching for lately. Over here, you can choose to search everything, or you can choose just to search audiobooks or ebooks or particular authors or categories, that kind of thing. Whatever you're looking for. Let's say I'm searching for an audiobook and I'm looking for, let's see if I have cast. Okay. They don't have cast in audiobook. Let's see if they have it in ebook. The Isabel Wilkerson one. Okay, so they do not have it in here. So you'll see, and cast is one that I had on hold in the other system. So these two systems have different things in them. The Access 360 one, we actually purchase those. We own copies of those things. The Hoopla one, we just subscribe to the system, and what they have, they choose what they have in their system. So you will get some overlap, and some of them you won't. So if you are looking for a particular book and you don't find it in one of these, if you don't find it in Access 360, check Hoopla, and vice versa, because they might have something. And if there's a holds list in Access 360, check Hoopla to see if there's not a holds list in here. Because the way Hoopla works, let's see if I click on this. There is no, I believe there's no holds list. We pay for multiple access to, multiple people having access to the files at once. So you won't have the available or not available option. On Hoopla, they're all available. And it's for 3 weeks, just that. So you will also see the little symbol here. If I'm going to search for everything for cast, this little symbol here, this is a comic. The little musical notes from music. An ebook has this little book symbol here. Let's see what audio has. Audiobooks has the little headphones. So if it's an audiobook, it'll have headphones, and if it's music, it'll have musical notes. Okay. And what you'll do is you'll just click on the title, click on the cover just like before. And here's your little synopsis. You can see more. And this one's even easier. You just click borrow. And I haven't logged in, so let me log in. Okay, so if I borrow this, and it says this title is available for streaming and downloading on mobile devices. Okay, so streaming, which means you listen to it now and you have to be connected to Wi-Fi. Download means it downloads a total copy of it onto your device, and that you can listen to it somewhere where you don't have access to Wi-Fi. So I'm going to click borrow title. It says you can now enjoy this title through Wednesday, March 17th. I can stream it on my browser or download it to Amazon, Apple, and iPod devices. Okay. So if I want to play it, I would just click here and click play. If I was on a mobile device, it would give me an option to download it. Okay. And then this is where it will play. You don't have the forward and backward 30 seconds like you did on the other one, but this is your volume. And this is where you slide your volume up and down, or, you know, completely turn that off. If I click this, okay, I'm going to pause this. Now, to get the whole controls, you have to enlarge this, which is this little up arrow here. And then you have more controls than you do with that little one. So this is to, you can speed it up or slow it down. One is regular speed. This is a timer. So you can set it to just play for 30 minutes and stop. If you know if you just want to play it till you go to sleep, which is very nice, a nice system. I like that option. This button is to jump the chapters. This is your chapter headings, and this is your bookmark, just like we had in the other system before. Here is where you'll have your jump forward and backward 30 seconds. And here is your chapter jumps, jump to the next chapter. So you see a lot of this is the same as we saw in the other system. So to get back, I'm going to close that down, and I can just go back to where I was before. I can click Hoopla to go back to the home page. Now, My Hoopla, once you've logged in, My Hoopla is where you can find your stuff. What I've got currently checked out, what I've got on hold. Oh, there is actually a hold system. It's just I don't usually see it on Hoopla because they have many more copies of the titles. A flex title that the library owns. Oh, okay. So we have the option to purchase extra copies if they don't have one that we want. And so that's ones that will act like the Access 360. But most of them are owned by Hoopla, so you don't usually see the holds thing. Title requests, you can actually place a request to have your library purchase it and have it available through Hoopla. If you want a particular book and you want it in ebook or audiobook and the library doesn't have it. If you want it in ebook, yeah, it has to go through one of these systems, which is a kind of a nice option. Favorites, when you've clicked on something, let's go back to this one. Okay, you can't see it from there. But if I click on this one, if you click this little heart symbol, that will add it to this favorites, which is kind of like, you can use it kind of like a wish list, like the other one had a wish list. You can use favorites kind of like that. If you click on something and you don't want to check it out and borrow it right now, you just click the heart and it will add it to there. Okay. Oh, okay. I guess movies and music are 3 days. Okay. And then there's the history right there. And it automatically has the history turned on. Whereas Access 360, you had to go into the settings and turn the history on, and then it would start recording it from there. This one actually always, it records the history totally. And if you want to get rid of your history, you have a button right here that says clear history, and it will clear everything, this listing off. Other options you have for finding books. I showed you the browse where you can browse the different kind of items. So if you click on that, I'm going to click the X to get rid of that. If you click on one of these browse and go to, let's say, ebooks, you can show available now, coming soon, which means they've ordered it, but it hasn't been added to the system yet. Everything, including ones that aren't available yet or right now. Bridgerton, The Duke and I. That's a popular one right now. It's the book that the Bridgerton Netflix series is based on. It's all the rage right now. Okay. And if you're looking for type, Flex, these are ones that the library has purchased that may or may not be available right away. Oops. That's under borrow type. An instant is ones that Hoopla owns that there's no waiting list for. I clicked on, when I clicked up here, browse, I clicked on ebooks. So this format is just showing me all ebooks. User rating, you can actually limit it to just ones that have gotten 5-star ratings. Release date, if you don't want anything older than a year, you can do that. Date added just means the newest ones that we've purchased or that Hoopla has added that weren't available 7 days ago. And they do have other languages, not a whole lot. Most of the titles are in English, but there are titles available in Spanish or French, or a few in German and Danish. Ooh, that's interesting. You can limit it to children's titles. And here's where you can, remember I talked about the abridged, whether it's abridged or unabridged. You can click this to, if you don't like them cutting pieces out of the audiobooks, you can click that box and it will eliminate anything that's been edited. So you have recommended and featured. Those are similar to the other items that we saw in the other system. And the categories is right here, which is like we saw before on the other system, except it's not in as nice a list. And let's say fiction. And once I click on fiction, now I see all the different kinds of fiction categories. So it does break some of these down into smaller categories. So if you're looking for African American fiction or anthologies, which short stories, romance novels, you would go to categories, then click fiction, and then romance. Okay. And once you've got an item checked out, so you click on it, click borrow. Yeah, borrow title. Yep. Okay. And you also now have a button that says return now. It will automatically return after the set amount of time, but if you are done with it, you can always click the button that says return now. Are you sure? It's saying you still used it, so it's counting it off of your total. So I'm going to click OK. All right. And what else here? Under advanced search, if you're looking for, you want to be a little bit more particular in the searching, you can click advanced search and you can search just title, keywords, you know, all of these things you can search by. So let's say you want a particular title, you can put it here, and you want it only in audiobook, that will work there. So you can get really particular. Here, where it says kids off or on, I have it turned off because I don't want to see children's books because I don't have any kids. But if if I click that, it will show kids books in the search results. I'm going to leave it off. And these are your settings. Anytime you see a gear symbol, that's settings for this thing, and it says what you're logged in as. You can, I have emails turned off. I do not want Hoopla to send me emails, like notifications of new stuff. I have my hold and request emails turned on because yes, if I place a hold on something, I want them to be able to email me and tell me it's here. I've got email turned off, which turned on, as I said, will show kid appropriate content, which Bridgerton, since it's kind of an adult TV series, and would not show up in the search results if you have the kids mode turned on. And you can hide the borrowing history if you like. And here's where you can log out. If somebody else is using your computer, you always want to log out of your accounts. Okay. Unless somebody's a question, I'm going to stop sharing. Does anybody have any questions about this service? Not sure how long ago this was, but somebody put a chat question. It says, if you're listening to an audiobook, can you set it for a certain time? You can on the Hoopla. That's the sleep timer that I showed you before. On the Access 360, let's go back in there and see. Well, let me see what I've got checked out. Okay, I've got audios checked out here. Okay. So now audio speed. Oh, yes, they do have one here. I've never actually paid attention to that before. So Access 360 also has a sleep timer. There's this little, in Hoopla, it's the little alarm clock symbol, I believe. And in Access 360, it's this this little moon. And if you set it to 30 minutes, it will stop after 30 minutes. Okay, so that's, I think, the answer to that question. Does anybody have any other questions? Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing. Okay, so it's actually fairly easy once you get the hang of it, and the two systems are very similar in how they function. The only difference is with Hoopla, in order to download, you actually have to give them your email and create a password in order to use the system and to use the app. Whereas on Access 360, I think the email's optional, but I had to put in a fake one, so I think you still might have to have it, but you probably don't have to create a password to use it. You can do that. Okay. Okay, so if nobody has any other questions, I hope you learned something. I hope this was opened up a little bit more possibilities for you. And like I said, most of these two systems are pretty common. I don't know about Access 360 for the other library systems, but most of the library systems in the area, Johnson County, Mid-Continent, KC-Mo, will have similar systems, even if they don't have exactly Access 360. Access 360 happens to be from a company called Baker and Taylor. They might have something called Overdrive, which is from a company called 3M, but they will work very similarly. Just like the similarities you saw between the two systems that we subscribe to. The other ebook systems and audiobook systems, downloadable, will all work pretty similarly. It's just a matter of figuring out how to log in and get started and downloading. Okay. Well, yeah, if nobody else has any questions, for those of you who didn't come, I'm gonna stop the recording here.